Do you know that feeling when something negative happens and your mind just keeps going? One thought becomes another, and then another, and suddenly you're stuck in it. Stress, pressure, doubt, and you can't seem to get out. Maybe you tried manifestation, maybe you tried law of attraction, maybe you tried mindset work, but still you fall back into the same patterns. I know all about this. If you want to grow your business by understanding what's happening inside, subscribe. So in this video, I want to share something very simple, a tips, an invitation to get out of this stuck, but it's very powerful. One of the simplest formulas that I've ever worked with, and it keeps coming back to me, is thought leads to feeling, leads to action, leads to a result. Everything starts here. So your thoughts create your feelings in this formula. Which means if you probably know this, but you can try it with me now. Begin to think about something that you don't like. Begin to think about something from your past or today or yesterday that you don't like. Just think about it. And what you probably will experience is that you begin to feel bad. And we'll come back to that. So the next thing is that if you feel a certain way, your actions will change to how you feel. And let me give you an example of this, because if you feel very good and powerful, I've seen so many clients, I've helped them, we came on a session and their hands were in the air and we celebrated, and they just did some calls or made some sales or did some posts, and yeah, and they were on a high roll and they created the same again, even better. Now the other way around, not feeling good and the actions, maybe you can relate to this, because what I've seen with myself and what I've seen with others is that if I am in a very not positive energy, I will not be at my best at whatever I do, even in the gym, or if you run or something. Experience that if you are in a very positive energy and feel powerful in a great state, you can push further. If you are not, you cannot. And I even heard some, and recently actually, we had a call in our community, and I heard more than once, but I heard this one entrepreneur telling that when he was in a little bit of stress or thinking negative, things were not showing up as he wanted them in his reality, he started eating things that he was not supposed to eat. And maybe you know this, if you got a couple of rejections and you feel bad, you're probably not going to call for the next 20 ones or reach out to the next 20 ones because you feel sad. So many people, then they sit back, they have to eat or watch some television or maybe even drink something. And guess what happens with the energy? It doesn't get better. And from there, it leads to the actions, and they are not getting better either. And it goes on, because from there it happens that the results, the actions create a result. The results will be impacted by that state. And this goes into a circle, a negative circle, because the results will not be as you wanted them. That leads to that first thought that things are not going my way or it doesn't work or something like that. And we keep thinking about that. And then it goes to the more emotions like it's not good, I don't feel good, I'm not good enough. And the actions will be even worse, and on and on and on and on. Maybe fast, maybe slow. And what is important from this formula is that whatever shows up in our life, maybe not everything, but whatever shows up as results in our life, probably just didn't start right there. If we look at this formula, so it probably started with a thought. But if we trace it back, so maybe we'll say, okay, this month was not my best month, or I didn't have any sales, or I didn't have the sales that I wanted. Okay, how was my actions? Did I do anything that I could to get in the sales? No, why not? How was my emotions? Okay, actually 2/3 of the time in April, I felt depressed and I didn't want to pick up the phone, or I didn't want to do a DM, and what were my thoughts? My thoughts were that this is not working out, or this doesn't matter, or I'm not good enough, things like that. So you can track it back like that. Now, problem that I've seen with a lot of business owners here is that, this is some years ago, but when I built my company, when I was growing my company from a $1.5 million debt after the financial crisis, I grew a cleaning company to 60 people and paid off the debt. And one of the things that I've learned, that I've helped so many entrepreneurs with, is create a very, very big and magnetic vision. Start with that. Then some goals, powerful goals, juicy goals that wow, this would be awesome. But the thing is, if we focus on that in the future, the distance is too far. And if we have any kind of not being good enough inside of us, or doubt, or I'm not sure I can do it, like doubt or frustration, that distance will be very long. That's why if we chop it into smaller goals, like maybe a month or two from now, and from there into actions, now it's much easier. So I've seen so many business owners, and entrepreneurs and creators, they set a great vision, they have an idea, maybe it's powerful, maybe it's vague, they have big goals, but inside there's another voice. And this is the conflict. And this also have to do with the manifestation formula, because if you have a big vision and if you have some huge goals, I've been there, and you focus too much on that, and inside you got a voice speaking saying, I don't believe it. I don't think I can do it. Or this is too hard, or this is not working, or even this formula is not working. The thing is, that voice is connected with a feeling deep inside. And what I've seen again and again and again and again and again and again and again is that voice will win. Because that's part of the most powerful thing, not with this one up here, but all of our being. That voice will win. So what can we do about this? This is the shift that helped me, and I've been reminded of this last week, so I really look forward to sharing this with you. All about this manifestation formula. So instead of trying to force the results, I'm not saying not to take action, but forcing the results. Here comes a very, very practical couple of steps that can help a lot. And it depends on how heavy that energy is inside, because if that energy is like really heavy, it might have to be a good idea to, instead of just trying to do something, actually stay with that heaviness and release it as the first thing, because else it's going to be very difficult. But first step, first of all, notice what's happening inside. What do I mean by that? Take the manifestation formula. The action is in the outside world. Thoughts and emotions, inside world. That's inside of you. So begin to be aware. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? First step, just be aware. Begin to do this. And most people don't do this because the phone, scrolling, doing work, whatever it is. And we occupy ourselves, so we have so much noise going on that we don't listen to that part inside. But become aware, first step. Second step, this is one that it took me some years to figure this out and understand it, like really understand it actually. Second step is don't fight it. See, I grew up with a lot of people just saying push it and grind it and force it and all of these things and you'll break the walls down. I tried that and yeah, some walls came down, but some walls actually gotten thicker. So don't fight it. Don't judge it. That's another thing happening. So one voice is going, you're not good enough. And the other voice is just speaking with or against or something like that. Just trying to, who are you to say that? And why do you say that? And that's not true. And it becomes an inner conflict. And this takes up a lot of energy. So don't judge it. And also don't push it away. Don't push it away. Don't try to say, don't think this or don't feel this, because thoughts and emotions are pretty stubborn. You probably noticed that. So if you say to yourself, don't think like that, maybe that voice is going to get even bigger. And if you feel depressed one day and you say to yourself, I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be depressed. You actually probably feel even more depressed. And guess what happens with the actions and the result? So instead of that, just let it be. Just observe it. Just let it be. And again, the different levels. So if it's very heavy, some releasing, some shifting. I did other videos and can do more about this. Is probably the best way. But else, just stay with it for a moment. Observe it. It's okay, it's there. We don't want to fight that part of ourselves. And here comes the next step, which is one that I've been really playing with. And so there's two things here. If you believe in the law of attraction, many people do, or believe in the universe, or believe in multiple universes, or believe that there's so much out there that, because that's science, that our senses cannot understand. So we can only take in a little bit of what's out there. Whatever you believe in. That's one thing. The other thing is, inside of you, most people would probably agree that whether they believe in the law of attraction or manifestation techniques like this, they probably agree that it would be nice to feel better than depression or frustration or lack, things like that, right? Most people would probably agree with this. So here is the third step, but it comes first with awareness. Second step, actually not judging and fighting or anything, just let it be there. Then the third step is, and I'll use this word very, how do you say that? Intentional. Gently, not forcing, not pushing, not anything. Gently guide your thoughts. Not to the big vision. Here's the key, not to the big vision, because forcing or trying to gently guide the thoughts to the big vision, if that doesn't feel good inside, you'll just hurt yourself more. So gently guide your thoughts, not to the big vision, but to something that feels slightly better. And this is, like I said, this is something all teachers have talked about this for probably all time. But this is something that I've really come to like, to play with this. So if you become aware that your feelings, your thoughts are not as you want them, you observe them. From there, gently guide them to just the next step. And that next step could be something very simple. And again, it's not like, okay, I'm desperate for having more money. And then, in comes $100,000 to me. Yeah, then you feel it in your stomach. No, I don't believe that, and it doesn't happen. So what about instead just looking around and say, okay, I got a cup here, and just look at this cup and just like nice cup of tea, just sit with that. Or even gently guide towards calm or relief or something simple that you enjoy. Not doing it, just playing with your thoughts with this. And be aware what's going on inside. This is the key for you. Your emotions are the key. How does it feel? Because if it doesn't feel better, there's no reason to do it. Then there's two things. One is just to let that emotion inside be there. Just observe it. Or try with something else where you gently guide your thoughts to something else. And again, it can be many things. Many things. So it can't be you just go back to yesterday or today, or look out the window and see a bird or a tree and just be a little bit, wow, that's nice. Or look at a photo of a kid or someone else that makes you smile, or a dog or something like that. Just sit with that for a moment and again feel, how does this feel? If it feels better, that's good. And just practice this ongoing all the time. This is, again, like I said, an invitation to practice this and just let your vibrations become better and better. And again, why does this work? Because when your state changes, your actions change. From depressed, and maybe you can get it up a couple of levels and you feel better. And maybe you're not going all in, but instead of doing nothing or complaining or beating yourself up, you might do 5 phone calls or 5 outreaches. You might do 1 smaller post. You might go for a walk. You might drink a cup of water instead of a beer and enjoy yourself. So your actions change and your energy changes. Your energy changes too. And you feel that by your state changes, which means that your decisions change too. And then your actions. And that means that you will change your results. And it's not necessarily that everything is going to be okay tomorrow, but keep playing with this, and it's like building a muscle, right? So you have to do the reps, like with anything else, doing the reps. So keep playing with this. And if we take this business and money, I've heard this so many times that I got stress around money, pressure. I feel pressure, and my family life might not be good. I'm not speaking that good with my wife or husband, or sometimes I actually yell at my kids. I am stressed. I'm overthinking. I don't sleep good. And this is a bad cycle too. And again, the problem is that with this, the action is not that powerful. It's going to be more stressful. It's going to be less powerful. So again, invitation is to break that loop, to get out of that hamster wheel. So instead of just pushing harder, go inside, become aware, observe, be gentle, and see if you can guide your thoughts. Gentle towards something that makes you feel better, and then take a little bit of action instead of none. So if this makes sense, I am creating something very powerful for you. I call it right now a money decoder. Some simple questions, and right now they are divided in vibrations and in mindset / what's going on in your reality. To understand your patterns, your inner blocks, and the link is below this video. The thing is, you don't need to fix anything or everything. You just need, as the first level, to become aware, and then start guiding yourself. So I'm curious, what is something that triggers you right now and pulls you into that negative loop? Drop it in the comments.